The Chicago Bulls show toughness and battle back in tonight's game, but they come up short against the Phoenix Suns. We're going to be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's loss. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so tonight, the Chicago Bulls get beat by the Phoenix Suns 127-121. And I think that this was a game in which the Chicago Bulls certainly showed the effort. They fought back after being down by as many as 20 points, but ultimately it came down to the Phoenix Suns having just a bit more stars on their team. And so before we go ahead and jump into the box scores and take a look at the key takeaways here, wanted to first remind you that 71.8% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure that you go ahead and you slam dunk on that subscribe button for us, as it means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach our end of the season subscriber goal. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the box score and look at the key takeaways from tonight's game. And so we always like to start with the MVPs on the night, and so no particular order here. And so I wanted to go ahead and start with Tre Jones, because Tre Jones, look, I think once again continues to really run with this opportunity as far as being in the starting lineup. He had 12 points in tonight's game. He also had 9 assists, 6 rebounds, a block shot. He was -6 in the plus-minus box score, but still very efficient from the field with a 5 of 7 attempt rate to miss rate there, so 5 of 7 from the field. And then he played 32 minutes in this game. And so I just love the fact that, look, Tre Jones defensively, I felt like he was very active once more. And then I love the player movement that you get from Tre Jones. I think that he understands what to do off ball, and he will find you if you are cutting as well. And so again, I've talked about this before. He is not Lonzo, but you can definitely tell that the basketball IQ is certainly high on the offense and the defensive end. So Tre Jones, I think, was an MVP out there. He was a settling, effect to the offense tonight. So I loved what Tre Jones had to do. And so next up, my next MVP on the night, it goes to Josh Giddey, because Josh Giddey coming back off the ankle injury, and he has a good game. He has 22 points, 7 rebounds. He had 7 assists. He had 2 steals. He had a block shot, 10 of 15 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. And so, number one, it was good to see him come back. And number two, coming off the bench, he picked up right where he left off, because he's been on this streak where he really starts off getting the rebounds, the assist, and then he starts to turn it on late with the scoring. And once again, you saw that with Josh Giddey. So I think that, look, he did a terrific job coming off the bench because that is an adjustment in itself. And I think that he gave us some great effort on the defensive end. I felt like the rebounds, the hustle was there as well. And you could just tell that he was getting back into rhythm, but he didn't really miss too much of a beat. The jump shot was falling tonight from outside, and so that was good to see. And so, look, he's trending up in the right direction to come back, have a good game like this. And so hopefully we get a chance to see him against the Sacramento Kings tomorrow night. But a great comeback, so you definitely have to give him an MVP on that one. And so next, my third MVP of the night, it's going to go to Coby White, because Coby White once again scores 20 points. This is the 10th straight time that he has scored 20 points. And so that is great to see with Coby White, that he is seriously figuring it out. 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, -9 in the plus-minus box score. He was 9 of 18 from the field, 3 of 9 from deep. And, once again, in 35 minutes, getting to the free throw line as well. And so we love that about Coby White. In fact, even if he wasn't getting the fouls, I like the fact that he was still trying to get downhill. And so I definitely got to give him some credit. And then, so next up, I wanted to go ahead and just look at just the rest of the starters. And so I wanted to go ahead and start with Kevin Huerter. And so Kevin Huerter, look, I think that he was very solid in tonight's game. 15 points. He had 2 rebounds. He had 4 assists. He had a block shot. He was +1, 6 of 11 from the field, 3 of 8 from downtown tonight in 32 minutes, much like Tre Jones. I think that, look, he's come over. He's found his rhythm now that he's getting some minutes, and I will continue to say it. He looks a lot like he did when he was with the Atlanta Hawks, and so I'm super happy that Kevin Huerter is figuring it out, and I just like his defensive activity too. I mean, I know we talk about the scoring and things like that, but I think defensively, Kevin Huerter is a lot better and it really he should get a lot more credit than I think most people give him. So Kevin Huerter, I think, played pretty solid on both ends of the floor. And so next up, another player that I think played okay. I mean, even though the numbers looked pretty good, and that was going to be Vooch. And so 24 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks. He was -4 from the plus-minus box score, and 10 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from downtown, 30 minutes. And so it was rough. It was a little up and down for Vooch. I mean, he did airball a shot pretty badly, but look, Vooch has been really trying to find it. Probably still trying to work his way back from that calf injury. And so it's kind of been a bit of an up and down situation. Didn't get the double-double in tonight's game, but he did provide the scoring punch, and he was 10 of 17. But Vooch is just, look, he's been definitely a different player there since the trade deadline and all that stuff like that. And so hopefully Vooch can finish this thing out well. But solid that he did, get as many points as he did, and also to the block shots as well. Got to give him a ton of credit there. And so next up, Modest Buzelis. And so look, Modest Buzelis statistically didn't have like a great game or anything like that, but I think that he did have the play of the night. I thought that he had a tremendous alley-oop from Tre Jones. I thought that was special, right? To see that athleticism from Modest Buzelis. 5 points on the night. He had an assist. He had a steal, -6, 1 of 6 from the field, 25 minutes. And so always good to see him play 25 minutes. And this is what you want to see from Modest Buzelis. You want to see how he's going to respond after a night like this. I'd expect for him to come out ready to go against the Kings. And so even though it wasn't very great from a statistical standpoint, I still liked some of the things that I saw with Modest Buzelis tonight. And so next up, just going over to the bench here, we've already talked about Josh Giddey, his performance off. And then now Zac Collins. And so look, Zac Collins, 8 points, 7 rebounds, and assists. He had 1 block shot, -2, 4 of 6 from the field, 18 minutes. And so I thought he played a lot better in this particular game. And also, too, he just shows his catch radius as well. I thought that he made some great catches and, put it into the basket as well, just going into some of the passes and stuff like that he was getting from Tre Jones tonight. So Zac Collins, I think, had a solid effort. Patrick Williams, 5 points, 2 rebounds. He had a 1 steal, 1 block, -2, 2 of 5 from the field. 1 of 3 from downtown, 18 minutes. And so, look, Patrick Williams, I mean, he still really hasn't necessarily found it. Do have to give him a bit of credit for the defense that he did play in tonight's game. But, just Patrick Williams, man, just hasn't really been able to put it together consistently this season. So hopefully he's able to, maybe get a rhythm here as the season kind of winds down. And so next up, Dalen Terry. So Dalen Terry, only 5 minutes tonight. I think that this is definitely one of the more disappointing things, along with Jalen Smith not playing. But I think he had like a very good rip, which is a steal initially. And then, just the sequences where, it was a turnover or whatever, and he just gets pulled out. And so it just seemed like Billy Donovan, quickly kind of removed him out of the game tonight. So Dalen Terry, I liked his energy initially, especially being home because, he went to college out there. And so I was hoping that he would get a chance to play a little bit more, but that didn't happen. Julian Phillips knocked down a nice little 3-pointer there. 6 points. He had 2 rebounds. He had a steal. He was +2, 2 of 4 from the field, 15 minutes. And like I said, once again, showing us that he can be a corner 3-point specialist. And so I like that. And I think that as he continues to knock that shot down, just consistently, and then also to get out and run in the open floor, I think that the sky is the limit for him offensively. We already like what he presents defensively. I think between him and Dalen Terry, I think that is the key, just getting minutes and letting these guys figure it out. And so, that essentially was the game really for the Chicago Bulls. I think that when it came down to it, you have to give the Phoenix Suns a lot of credit because, look, Kevin Durant had 26 points. You had Devin Booker, who had 41. They had their rookie. He had 16 in this one. You had Nick Richards. He had 18. I mean, I just think that the Suns just had a ton of star power in this one. And so next, just going into just the team box score and taking a look here at some of the key takeaways there. And so first, the Suns out-rebound the Chicago Bulls 46-40 there. The Chicago Bulls lead in turnovers 13-11. And so I think that it was a little sloppy, too, throughout the game. And so, I thought that the Bulls were going to have even more turnovers. And so 13-11, not bad tonight, but still you'd never want to lead in that department. 8-6 as far as the Bulls in the block shots, and then 60-48 Bulls points in the paint. So that has been good. That's been actually trending pretty well the last couple games, is the Bulls' ability to get downhill and get to the paint. Next up, steals. And so the Suns lead in that department 9-7. Fast break, Bulls 31-17. I think that, look, they were doing a terrific job as far as getting out and running in tonight's game. As far as the field goal percentage, look, the Chicago Bulls shoot 54.4% from the field, 39.5% from three. You have the Suns at 49%. And then 37.5% from three. I think that they just continue to hit some big shots out there, did the Phoenix Suns. 29 assists to 49 field goal makes, so not bad for the Chicago Bulls. And so, look, I think the effort was there. Just a tough game. You had a lot of stars out there for the Phoenix Suns that showed up in tonight's game. So going to be curious to see how the Chicago Bulls respond. I think it was terrific that we see Josh Giddey come back. He looked pretty good. Tre Jones continues to keep playing very well. And so that's all that we want to see with this team, continuing to keep fighting, continuing to keep playing well. I would say the big thing is that you still have to get player development done. You still have to get guys like Jalen Smith. I still think Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, these guys that, look, they might be a part of your long-term future here, or at least your plans for right now. You need to evaluate that because you're getting ready to head into the draft, and you're going to have to figure out, how you are going to put this roster together as far as roster construction and try to maximize this thing, because it's not just about the now. It's not just about this play-in run or whatever we're on right now. It's going to be about the long term. And so that means that as you're trying to go out and win games, you still have to maximize player growth as well. And so let me know in the comments what you're thinking. And as we always say, go Bulls. We will see you on the next one. All right, peace.